Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I thought I'd do a video on the best bags for moms. So I've been a mom for over 7 years. I'm certainly not the expert on mom fashions, but I know what has worked for me over the years and I thought I'd share with you.
Also, please keep in mind that this video is about luxury bags. I'm fully aware that there are tons of non-luxury options that would probably work as well or even better. However, I'm making this video specifically for moms who love luxury bags and may still want to carry a bit of luxury on an everyday basis even when they have their young kids with them.
I'm talking about from when kids are over 6 months to less than 7 years old. Because I feel in the first 6 months, you can pretty much wear what you want. You're gonna have to take a diaper bag anyway. You pretty much have a captive audience, so you're not really running after them yet. For the most part, whatever bags you liked before, you can pretty much wear when a baby is really young. It's when they start getting older and more mobile, that's when you may have to adjust your handbag habits. And then when kids are older, say 7 plus, they're old enough to carry their own backpacks with their stuff in it. My daughter actually likes to carry her own handbags with her little things, so I'm pretty much back to wearing whatever I want. But let's talk about those years where you really have to take into consideration your mommy duties, so you really do need a functional bag that fits a mom's lifestyle. And I will say there are caveats. If you're a mom in a big city like I am, where you do little to no driving, or if you're a mom in a more suburban or rural area where you drive everywhere, that makes a big difference. Also, if you have help during the day, if you have a nanny or a partner who's pretty much always with you, that really does make a difference as to whether or not you need hands-free options. So keep all this in mind. Take this video with a grain of salt. This is just what worked for me and my lifestyle with a young child.
There are 4 categories of bags that I recommend and want to discuss, and at the end I'll also talk to you about a few different kinds of bags that I personally would try to avoid when I'm out with the little ones.
I'll show you examples from my own collection, or if there are any that I don't have but I think would work equally as well, I'll insert those pictures. The first category is the mini bag. Now, I don't know how many times I've said on this channel I am not a mini bag person. However, for a mom, I do think there is some utility in having a couple of good mini bags in your collection. So mini bags really came in handy in the first couple of years for me when I had to carry a diaper bag. I'm not one of those people that loves using their diaper bag as their handbag, so I enjoyed having a little bag to carry my own personal things that's separate from babies. My wallet, lip gloss, sunglasses, things like that that could easily get lost in a diaper bag. For me, it's preferable to have a crossbody mini bag. So I have a couple of options to show you. The first is this Prada nylon crossbody bag. I don't know the name of it. Got this in either 2003 or 2004 at either the Prada store itself or at the Woodbury Commons Prada outlet. I remember this was less than $100. This bag has been missing for the last 3.5 years. I moved, I could not find it, and I finally found it under a whole lot of tennis equipment. So I thought I had lost it for good, but I'm so happy I found it because this is, on a side note, a great bag for running out and doing errands during COVID. I would have this crossbody and then have my big old diaper bag on the stroller or carrying on my arm. The great thing about this bag is that it's completely wipeable and pretty indestructible. As I said, I've had this for about 17 years. I bought it when I was pretty young and it still looks good. And as a bonus, Prada is kind of back in fashion now, so win-win. Another option is the Hermes Evelyn TPM. This is in Clemence leather, which is pretty durable. However, I would only recommend this bag in darker colors because Clemence leather can stain. so keep that in mind. But same as the Prada bag, throw a few of your essentials in there. It doesn't feel like you're wearing anything, and you can also have your diaper bag. Last mini bag option is the Chanel Classic Rectangular Mini. I know some people might be hesitant with using this bag with kids. I'd say as long as you bought it in a dark color. Mine is in caviar, which I think is helpful because it doesn't show scratches. But this bag has been to many kids' events. I wouldn't want this to be my only kids' crossbody bags because I think that's where you wear out your bag. So I'm glad I do have some other options. So these mini bags are great when your child is very young and you need a diaper bag. And they also come in handy again when your kids are older and you don't need to carry that much for them. So think 3 to 4 years old. They're not in diapers anymore, but you might have to make a run for it at a playground. These bags come in very handy. So my next category of bag is the mid-size crossbody. I find these bags very good for any point during mommyhood. You can easily use this with a diaper bag. You can use this in toddlerhood. The Pochette Matisse has probably been one of my most used bags for the last 5 years. Another example of a mid-size crossbody in this category is the Bloomsbury PM, which I don't think is as beautiful as the Pochette Matisse, but in some ways it's more functional because it doesn't have any vachette leather, it has a zip instead of a flap, and it's more spacious. But just aesthetically speaking, I like the Pochette Matisse more. And this bag has come in really handy over the years. I bought this bag right after I had a baby, so it's about 7 years old at this point and still going strong. What I like about these mid-size crossbodies is that I think these are bags that you can use at any point. So you can use them as a crossbody bag if you need to carry more than you would in a mini bag. When your child is a toddler, you can pack a diaper, some wipes, and some snacks in there and use that as your only bag. And then when your kids are a little older and they have activities, when you don't need to carry that much for them, but they might bring a toy with them and then lose interest halfway through the trip and you end up carrying it, you can throw those things in these bags. So I think these are great for any stage of mommyhood. If neither of these bags appeal to you, some bags in this category are the Hermes Evelyn, but in the PM size, and also the Louis Vuitton New Odeon bag, which is a very similar shape to the Bloomsbury PM, and I think would be just as functional. It doesn't have any vachette. Of course, Louis Vuitton bags are much more expensive now. My Bloomsbury I paid less than $1,000 for, whereas I think the New Odeon bag is probably closer to the $2,000 mark. Okay, the third category is a nice big tote. So for those moms who just can't be bothered with carrying 2 bags and they want to combine everything, I think a tote is a great option, especially if you put an organizer inside so you can separate your stuff from your kids' stuff. I think a bag like a Neverfull would be a really great option. If you don't like the Neverfull, I think the Louis Vuitton Totally bag would be great, or the Goyard Artois bag would be a great option in the medium size. So the next category that I would recommend is a backpack. So this Prada backpack I bought around 2003, 2004, around the same time that I bought the crossbody nylon bag that I showed you earlier. It was the early 2000s. I was young. Prada was very popular. So I got this backpack either at the Prada store or at the Prada outlet. I remember this bag being maybe around $250, which was a lot of money for me back then, but they're pretty expensive now. Again, funnily enough, they're back in fashion. I find this bag very helpful for when your kids get into sports, so going to games or practices, tennis lessons, swimming lessons, baseball leagues, those kinds of things. I think a backpack is great, and this has become my official every summer, except this summer of course, Disney World bag. I take this every year to Disney. It houses water bottles and any little thing that we might need for a full day out. this bag is really handy. Every year at Disney, we seem to get caught in a torrential downpour, and it doesn't matter because this is completely waterproof. If you don't like this style, maybe something like the Louis Vuitton Mossery backpack would work better for you.
So here are some styles and materials that you may want to stay away from in bags that you're specifically designating as mommy bags.
So the first thing that I would avoid is any bag with a difficult opening. I love my Kelly bag and it works just fine in my lifestyle now, but this would be the last bag I would have chosen when I had a toddler. The opening is way too fussy. When you have a toddler that's trying to run away, you need to get something in your bag, you need to pay for something. This is not the bag for that. So when you're not with your toddler and you're going to lunch with your girlfriends, that's maybe when you would pull your Kelly out. Or, as I said earlier, when your baby's 3 months old and they're not running anywhere, you can still, of course, use your Kellys. But again, any bag with a difficult opening would not be what I recommend as a great mommy bag. I love Birkins. However, any bag without a strap, I would find difficult with a toddler. So of course, it's not that you can't have these bags if you have young children. You would just have to use them on appropriate occasions. This would not be the bag that I would choose if I'm going out with a young child. I would need to have my hands free, hold hands to cross the street. If they're not in a stroller anymore, maybe they want to be held, and you might get stuck holding a bag that you probably have a whole bunch of kid stuff in and holding a child, and that can get very heavy very soon and be exhausting. And I'll use this bag to make my next point. So the bags that I've used as mommy bags have been thrown up on. They have gotten poop on them. They've gotten peanut butter on them. I would not specifically designate a bag to be a mommy bag that I would be fearful of getting destroyed or getting dirty. A Birkin is one of those examples. For me, I don't have 20 Birkins, and I didn't have any Birkins when I had a toddler. I always tell the story of my daughter playing with my black Birkin and she dropped it on the street and then she dragged it. But it was my own fault because I decided to carry my Birkin with a child, and she wasn't even that young and she never did it again after that. But that's the risk that you take when you carry a bag that's very precious to you with a young child. So I'll bring my pochette Matisse back out to illustrate my next point, and that is that this is one of those bags that I recommend, but you may or may not know that this is my replacement bag because my original pochette Matisse was recalled a couple of years ago, and that one had peanut butter on the vachetta. I had stains all over this little tab right here. So one note about the pochette Matisse: the empreinte leather or the reverse option may be better as a mommy bag. I was not particularly precious with this bag, so I didn't mind it as much. And then by the time I got my replacement version, I didn't have a young child anymore, so this is in really good condition. But the last thing I would say to avoid is any kind of leather that stains like vachette or scratches easily, like Hermes box or even Chanel lambskin, which is my favorite, but I would not choose a mommy bag in that particular leather. And even when I showed you my Louis Vuitton Neverfull, I showed you my Damier Ebene Neverfull with the treated leather. I think the treated leather straps are a better mom option because they won't get stained. So keep that in mind. Again, that's a personal thing with how precious you are with bags. If you don't care about your bags getting stained or scratched, then this won't matter to you, but I know it does matter to a lot of people. So that's my video on my choices for the best mommy bag, guys. Let me know what you think of my options. If you are a mom, what has worked best for you? Or what would your recommendations be to new moms or all the moms to be out there? Thanks so much for watching my video. Please subscribe to my channel and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.